Uh, what a beautiful turnout. So many new people. So appreciate you. Just still
Oh,
high from our meeting last in Missoula, however long ago. I'm gonna mute everyone for a sec. So this will be recorded for some of you that are not familiar with these meetings. A lot of new people, welcome. This will be recorded, and the only way you'll be recorded is if you raise your hand and speak. Otherwise, it'll just show the speaker. So I encourage everyone to keep their camera on so we can all see you and connect. Gonna let some people in. Really raw day, just really powerful times, a lot of healing. Thank you for being part of this. Appreciate everyone's support. Had some really life-changing things. Really cool friends that have been in my place, been in place for me right now, and been hanging out with Tommy in Bozeman. Tommy's in here. Um, Talking to my buddy Julian a lot. So really glad to be in this process with you to share it with you. I've been, as Wendy brought up, the floor that the room that we were in the hotel for 2 days, we really filled that place with a lot of incredible feelings and experiences. And so I've been going back into that, remembering the weekend we spent together there, and then the time out in the mountains was really powerful too. So, and the one-on-ones, all the different ways in which we all got to talk and connect is really magical. Um, for those of you that are new to this, my courses, we do a lot of shamanic movement, and we learn specific passes that are to be done precisely, if possible. And then there's ones that are more uh, random and more preparatory energy building exercises. And then we talk a lot about recapitulation, and we work with memories. And as Tommy was sharing with Iboga, that it's very powerful for memories. And that his teacher was having him go into specific ages when he was on that medicine. Um, and that, that's what we're doing here without the assistance of the medicines. So we do the movements to try to gain access to our inventory. And by gaining access to that inventory, you're getting access to your youthful energy. And
what?
if you can revisit the feelings
No,
that
not at
you,
all. I'm going to join you in a minute. I'm already bored.
sorry guys. And then yeah, so just getting back to like those feelings from childhood are so powerful if you can hang out in them. And the more you have your attention and you're not distracted by lots of thoughts, then you can feel things for longer periods of time. And then you become, you know, resourceful to yourself. You become capable of feeling what's needed to be felt without avoiding it. You start to become aware of your capacity to do your own soul retrieval. And that's what recapitulating is. You could also get a soul retrieval from a medicine person, which can be very powerful. Somebody that knows what they're doing can assist you in incredible ways. But to do your own is kind of the gesture, is that you review your life. You have the courage to go back and review all the feelings, and it's really intense. It's very vulnerable to go back and sit in moments that are cringy, or to go back and feel heartbreak over again. But by having the movements and then having the energy to go into it, you're equipped, you're energized, you're electrically taking care of yourself. With the power plants, all that stuff can happen, but you're borrowing from an energy that you're not going to have all the time. So a lot of illusions of grandeur can happen when people are on mushrooms and they think they figured it all out. But if you don't integrate that and you try to make decisions from that place, it's likely going to teach you some really challenging lessons. So we want to go slow and steady. Uh, Slower is faster because the spinning of the wheels, going super fast, trying to expedite things, causes problems. You get hurt. You overlook things. You're you're moving too quickly to to properly be with integration, and integration is key. So a lot of people are going into power plants over and over and over and over, and if they're not integrating in between, it can be really tricky. Some people are fierce and can handle it. There's a medicine woman that eats mushrooms constantly her whole life, and she's good. She's not avoiding. She's just one with the medicine. So I'm not saying that everybody falls into this category if they're doing a lot of plant medicine. I think some people, that's what they're here to do. I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing what my friends do, even though they're super reckless with all kinds of drugs. They're going after it. You know, you have to admit to how powerful each person is, even though a lot of them are running from their wounding, as I still am in my ways. You know, we're all hopefully getting to the place where we can be honest about unresolved things that are still in our field. And this transition with Rachel showed me how much more stuff there was, you know, like so much more than I could have imagined. But I wouldn't have known it without the opportunity to really get honest with what I was holding. So when I was able to like finally get popped to the point that it was over, it was able to heal. So it's such a sad, bittersweet process to be in. It's really magical times, you know, to be in a process of um, coming out of other people's projections, you know, so that this triggered many other relationships where I still have a lot of projection dynamics inside of. So I'm getting to know myself without needing to be validated by the people that I'm most close to, and coming out of what they've been, how they've been perceiving me. So I think that's the biggest challenge, whether it's our parents or friends, is the box of comparison I talk about. When you're, you know, if you're looking at all your friends and they made decisions in their life and then they're in certain situations because of it, it can be hard to not then think, well, that's what's going to happen to me if I do this or that or the other. And so we're often limited in a lot of ways like that, where we don't know how to trust our intuition because we're comparing to the world that we're most close to, the people in our life. So it is important who your circle is, right? And getting clear about the people that really are truly uh, being true, like we're true with you, reflecting to you where you're at, and not, you know, pretending, people that are honest about what they feel and are willing to talk about what they see. Yeah, it's really powerful to talk with Tommy the last couple of days. And yeah, I really wanted to just make this opportunity for us to reflect on what we went through when we were in Missoula, and then for any questions or any shares people have. I know it's a little tender for some of you that were close with both Rachel and I. All is welcome here. It's a really beautiful thing, you know, to be, for both of us to be going in our own powerful directions. And yeah, sending love to her and wishing she, you know, it's sad for her not to be here and all that she offers us, but it's also really cool that you know, I was holding back a lot uh purposefully in speaking to that Rachel and I didn't know if our relationship could handle this, so we were trying to slow it down. And now I don't need to do that. And so it feels really good. I can step into the next stage of what I'm here to offer. And it's so beautiful that we're exiting peacefully, because I didn't know if that was going to work, you know, and so I was really, really scared. Uh, so that's like so thankful to her for her part in that. And it's been a beautiful maturing process to be able to do that, because 25 years is a long time. So we're gonna, yeah, just open it up, I think, and let people that were at the course especially talk. If you feel called to share with us what you've been through since you were in Missoula with me. I miss you guys. I wish we could do it every weekend. I'm excited to meet in Sedona in April. I think that's gonna happen. And so many more events, maybe Austin in October. I'm gonna be possibly working in a really cool magical healing center with some powerful new friends. I'm going to be going to Austin to go on a podcast circuit with like Luke Story and Cal Callahan. Just so many amazing people. And I'm going to be in a men's group down there with Alex Zek and all those dudes that live in Austin that hang out together. So thanks to Mark Gober for continually recommending me to all these people. He's become a really powerful client, friend, and if you haven't seen that talk with him on my channel, it's a really good one. Mark's amazing. Um, yeah, so does anybody feel called to talk about their experience when they were here, or any questions, or anyone have the courage to be the first to say hi? It's always fun. Oh, I had a feeling. Kazri, hi.
Hi. I just felt your emotion just talking about Rachel, and I just wanted to just share that I just love you both, and I appreciate how much you've shared your journey with her, with us, and each other, and um, yeah, I just wanted to just hold this space for you for this in this moment to say I'm feeling you. I'm feeling you both.
Thank you, Kazri.
Yeah,
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 I know. I could feel you feeling us. We're all connected.
yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Well, I know where you're going, and
Yeah,
I'm interested to follow Rachel as well,
yeah,
and stay in touch with
beautiful.
Rachel, and yeah, give her my love. But I'll be reaching out to her as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful. I'm so
Thank
glad.
you. That's
Thank you,
all.
Kazri.
Yeah.
Oh, good to hear from you. Janet, hi. Let's see.
It's okay. No, I forgot how to use Zoom. I've been
That's good.
on the road for 2 weeks and I just got
Uh,
back and
oh,
like finally got back and yeah, I've got stars shooting out of my fingers and so that's what's happening with me.
wow.
Literally stars shooting out of my fingers and I got to spend some time with Rachel in Montana too, and I love you both deeply, and I'm really, really happy for both of you. And it's, yeah, it's a beautiful thing to watch two beautifully conscious, fully embodied humans and go in different directions and still be able to be who you are individually. And I'm just really happy for you both on
Mm,
so many levels. And the retreat was, spectacular, fantastic, magical, beyond my wildest dreams, and was able to get me back to LA with some bumpy bumps that again my petty tyrant is my car.
mhm.
So I'm like literally just laughing all the way through, but I'm so eternally grateful for this work and for meeting every human in this space. And yeah, I'm here for the long haul. It's just so, yeah. Anyway, I could go on forever. And the fact that, yeah, just, yeah, I'm connected and love you very deeply.
Janet, thank you so much. So beautiful. So glad for you to be so moved, to be such a, to be so committed to this work and to understand the power of it and to fully show up. It's really powerful. Thank you. Um, Thank you for sharing with Mike Winner. That goes a long way when people find out about, how it's affecting you, like people like him. And so that's one way you guys can all help me, is just recommend, listening to my videos and stuff to people so I can keep doing this, so I don't have to go back to swinging a hammer. Although I do miss swinging a hammer. Um, I might do that anyways. But I look forward to finding the balance and continuing this work with all of you. And we're gonna do some things a little different, and things are gonna shift, and it's just gonna get stronger and stronger. So those of you that have been doing this with me, yeah, I really appreciate it. It makes all the difference in the world to have a wolf pack that you can start to count on and pull support from. And a lot of that's what we're doing, is intending together. When we come together, we're literally just creating a feeling that we can return to, a feeling we can take with us. You start to feel like you're floating. And so you have to get really grounded. So you have to do more movements. And then you start to float, and then you got to do more movements. And it's all good. There's no reason not to do movements. You might have resistance to it, but once you just accept it, just keep moving your body like this, it'll profoundly change your energy field, and then start to have incredible feelings come in that you forgot about, and brand new feelings come in that you've never felt. So it's just feeling based, and Janet's capacity to feel is incredible. So thank you for sharing your feelings with us, and happy for the hands being, yeah, lightning rods or electrical conduit. Oh, yeah. So I know we have others in here that were there. I don't know if anyone feels called to share, but any questions from anybody as well? Some of you are brand new. Anything goes, anything's welcome. Um, there's a comment here. I love you, Joel, and I love Rachel so very much. My tears are joined with yours, and with change comes growth. From Mayada. Thank you, Mayada. Beautiful. Oh. Douglas, hey, brother. Good to see you.
Let me get yes, good to see everybody. Good to see you, Joel. It's been an amazing trip. The movements, the recapitulation was amazing. Spending time with you guys. Blessings to you and Rachel, both. I know you'll find your own ways.
Thank you, brother.
God bless. So there's so many changes already. It was a beautiful trip. Missoula was the main point of it, was the highlight. But then there's some other residual stuff that came along too. The Brain Supreme, which is phenomenal, and NCI University, just and your your interviews, amazing interviews with Adam from Brain Supreme. I think he knocked his socks off, and and so there's some other interviews that were spoken about that I'm still trying to chase down. But I mean, it's be nice to have a list of all the links of your interviews. But
Yeah.
I will say that if anybody wants to know more about this work and about you, that just going to your YouTube channel, the Perceiver channel, and watching your little short, can be 10, 15 minutes or 30, 35-minute presentations are just amazing information. So deep and yet so simple. And as my one teacher used to say, practicality is spirituality. So they're very practical, very, very practical ways of looking at the world, using the Toltec tradition and what you've gleaned out of this, and to fill so many gaps from the Castaneda work. It's just amazing. It's been an amazing journey. It still is. And so thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
Wow, Douglas. Thank you, man. So good to have you there, and so glad you made an adventure out of it. And appreciate you bringing up Chase Hughes at the workshop. It was because of you that I watched that. Totally blown away, totally brilliant. Really hope to interview him. So many cool people that are coming in through Adam with Brain Supreme. He's my biggest cheerleader right now. So thanks to him for showing up in my life and and for discovering such a magical medicine. You know, there's a really powerful, beautiful story around how they found that particular mushroom. And then there's a cartoon called Common Side Effects that is very similar to his experience. And I hope his experience doesn't end up like the cartoon does, but it's about this magical blue mushroom that shows up, uh, and then it heals people, just straight up heals anything. And so Big Pharma is trying to, you know, find these people that found this magic. And so there's a lot of because in his grow there was this random blue mushroom that popped out of a grow of all this medicine, and then all this, that's the only one they grow now. They took that, and it's a brand new one that no one's ever discovered before. So we're in brand new times with brand new types of support. And we're in a time where it's legal to send microdosing products through the mail. Like it's amazing. And I, yeah, I highly recommend, I if you're interested in microdosing, this is the medicine I would consider, because it's and then that Eon stuff when it comes to amanitas, that's a whole different product, which is going to be incredible thing to learn about. So Veronica, welcome.
Hi, can you
Hey,
hear me okay?
yeah,
Okay, I'm in the car. Hi everyone. Hi Joel. Just picked up my husband from work and just this, you know, just sharing in front of him and talking about this community is a breakthrough for me because, you
yeah,
know, it's all like secrecy and now it's yeah, he's just here beside me and just this it's a lot for me. But besides that, when the workshop was going on, you know, I was in Montreal, and I really tapped into the energy, and I did some movements with a little bit of mushroom and microdose. I have my own sources.
yeah,
And, it was amazing. I'm really integrating the belief that we can connect on so many layers and with intention, with love. Um, and I have so much respect for this group and for you, Joel, and you know people like Janet. We did 2 classes, and you know it's just really really powerful. And I'm really appreciating this knowledge. I've been into gazing lately because I have 2 young kids. And, you know, it's not like I can meditate with my eyes closed and not look at them, what they're doing. So I've been really, really tapping into the gazing practice, kids playing and how they play and trying to remember, recapitulate those years. So it's been just a beautiful mirror, beautiful descent. It's so I I I have no words really, like um but yeah, I because I come from a lot of yoga, like the yoga tradition and the yogic practices where like it's really about transcending the body and moving the body in a particular way, whereas this whole like castaneda material and the Toltec knowledge, it's really, I find it really really breakthrough for me in a sense where it's unconditioning my body and taking my body and my usual practice and perception in a total different direction, which you know, with motherhood, with being a parent, and um, it was very needed, you know, when the student is ready, the teacher appears, and that's, you know, it I'm really grateful for having discovered your approach and your courses at this time of my life where I need to just be silly and not take myself so seriously. And anyway, so I'm gonna stop here. I will try to go to one of the in-person workshop. Like this is I'm putting the seeds in this community hall. I really want to do it. Right now it's a bit crazy with kids and financially, but I'm putting this intention with all of you. I will definitely, and in front of my husband. He's my witness, but I really want to come someday. So thank you. Ciao.
Oh, thank you. Wow. So good to hear. It really is so just good to connect with people in this way where we're all getting the benefits of this work, of these powerful people, Taisha, Florinda, Carlos, Carol. You know, you really feel the lineage when you do this work. You realize we don't have to do it alone, and that the wheel's already being invented. We don't have to create our own. We can stand on the shoulders of these giants. And the way I'm sharing this is it's different than the way it's been shared before because we're in a new time and I got guided to do it in this way. And I appreciate you noticing and feeling into it and following that calling. And yeah, that if you know, when you get clear on your intent and you decide you want to be to arrive at the workshop, you know, it does, the universe will assist you in making sure that happens. And when you invest in yourself like that, then doors open to ensure that you can continue. And so really it's kind of a stupid saying, but 90% of the work is just showing up. It does take it takes something to show up though. It really does. It takes something to sign up for the courses. It doesn't have to be mine, just anything that's powerful. It takes something within you to go forward. And for some people that's easy, and some people it's torture. They can't make decisions. You know, and so when you can't make a decision, you can remove the decision from your field until you're ready to make the decision so you're not torturing yourself with indecision. It's okay to not be in that place of knowing what you should do or not do. But hopefully you discover the not doing, which is to just stop and be able to just feel and just look and just smell and just see and just be. And however, whatever journey that is for you, some people try to just sit there and do the vipassanas. I think that's intense. I think why not just do some moving meditation? Get into silence through very slow, powerful movement. You don't have to figure it out by just forcing yourself to sit there. So it doesn't have to be so hard. Hey, Jamie, welcome, brother.
Hey Joel, hey everyone. Um, yeah, I just really appreciate Joel, your openness and um, yeah, just your ability to be really honest about your personal life and to share all the moments that you're moving through, and it really helps. I think all of us uh, relate to you, that you don't put yourself on a pedestal, and you know, I guess traditionally I would say, you know, I'm sorry about you and Rachel, but I think the way that you have communicated it is, I don't feel that it's a negative thing. I know that you take a decision like this really seriously, and I know um, that you need to feel really clear on something before making a decision like this. And so, yeah, I wish you and Rachel all the best, and I was lucky enough to meet both you and Rachel when I came to the States. And yeah, with you having this latest retreat, I was sort of adding my intent and tapping into you guys. And I think here I had a powerful few days. And yeah, I've just been reminiscing a lot about my time in America and, you know, the magical experience that I had with everyone at the retreat. And yeah, a little bit similar to what Douglas was talking about. I get so much from your interviews and from the episodes that you do on your channel, and yeah, I think it's really amazing have gone through the experiences that you've gone through and to be able to share it in the way that you do. Because I think a lot of us, you know, have been on a path where we're really trying to understand a lot of these more mystical experiences and the more magical side of life, and just through you sharing your experiences with your teachers, and yeah, that really helps me, I guess, have hope. And you know, you, Joel, were really really helpful for me at a certain time in my life where I felt like there was no one who really understood the experiences that I had been through. And so I still have a lot of appreciation and gratitude for that. And I think you know, I kind of realized recently I'm still integrating from these powerful experiences that I've had, and the assemblage point shifts that came with that. So yeah, I just wanted to express my gratitude for the work that you do, and all the support that you've given me, and also sending a lot of love to the group and the community. So thank you, Joel.
Thank you so much, brother. Thank you. You've been a big part of this community for a long time now, and it makes a huge difference. Your intent's really strong. Really value you as a brother. Happy to be helpful. And yeah, I learned so much from your story, and glad to not be the only one that had intense perceptual things happen that were hard to understand. I'm glad you're facing it, not running from it, and it's amazing, man. Powerful share. All right. Hey, Zanny, my neighbor. Welcome, Zanny.
Hey,
Hi.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi everybody.
Good
Petra's here too. Hi.
to see you.
You too.
Hey.
We're just taking care of stuff on Sunday here.
Yeah.
Busy
Right
day,
on.
but yeah. Oh gosh. Oh, I just wanted to share my love.
Mm.
Yeah. Um, yeah, gosh, I don't know why I'm crying. Didn't expect that at all. Boy. Oh, wow, that came out of the blue. Yeah, I'm really excited to just keep connecting
Mm.
with you and Rachel, and yeah,
Mm.
the retreat was amazing. Very different than the last. Every retreat has been incredible, and they're all very different. And this last one was just really precious. It felt so precious and like pure. Just there was this really profound like innocence, like this beauty that just kept like, yeah, it was big. It was really big. And um just the other day, so when we connected last December, so just like a day or two before the December retreat, my I had this like download at this birth of like, oh, this is what I'm working on next. And then I discovered you and Rachel literally the next day. And then went to the retreat, and then it's just been the rest is history. But just the other day I realized that intention, like my very first intention of like this big thing that is coming in for me to work through and be with and embody, and it's like come to life now.
Mm.
um and it's huge, it's big. And I mean, it felt abstract when I like was like, okay, this is what you're doing next. And now that it's here, it's like I didn't it's here. And this work has been, instrumental. I don't know. I don't know what else to say, but it's just been this really organic unfolding, and um yeah, it's the real, it's so real and true, and pure is not the right word, but there's just this clarity in all of it, and I'm really grateful for connecting with you guys in the community, and each hug at the end of the retreat, when I think I got a hug from everybody, and it was the most like no walls, no filters, full of love hugs that I felt probably in my whole life, and it was just one after the other. And to have that kind of openness and vulnerability, I still think about it. It was just really beautiful. So,
Mm.
oh, I shouldn't know. I'm so emotional, but here we are. Thank you, everybody. Much love, and yeah, onward.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, Annie, thank you. Thanks for your tears.
Yeah.
Oh, such an honor to be with you all. Susan, welcome. Good to be with you. Good to see you again.
Hello.
Hi.
I am profoundly, profoundly grateful. So much love in my heart too, Zany. I feel exactly the same way as you do. This retreat was a bit different from the last one, but still just as powerful. I feel really powerful. But there's a part of me that's so afraid of my power.
Mm. Me too.
A couple days after I got home, I said, I haven't gotten a bone. I haven't gotten a bone since I was in Montana in April. I said that as I walked into the forest. As I walked out of the forest, I got a little bone.
Of course you did.
Of course I did. I don't know what to say. I'm profoundly grateful that I listened to my intuition and got a hold of you almost 3 years ago.
Totally.
I had to deal with some tyrants this week. I was like, oh my God, and they were trying to make me shrink, but I had to stand up for myself and say no, and I did.
Yay. Good work.
I know how to say no really well.
Hell yeah.
One of my therapists many years ago said no is a complete sentence.
It is.
Yes, I'm definitely shifted.
Mm.
And you know what else I feel? You know what else about this work? So I've always kind of been out of my body half my life. And since I mean, I've been working with Rachel longer than you, but since I've been working with you, and I am way more grounded into the earth. And I don't know if it's because I spend so much time up in nature, but I am definitely way more grounded into my body. I'm sure it's all the inner work I've been doing too. I've been doing a lot of hard childhood work.
Yeah. Oh, amazing.
Anyway, so I will continue. Thank you.
Thank you.
Blessings to everybody.
Oh, beautiful. Yay. Oh, so glad. Glad you got a bone. I'm glad you got back and you're okay and that you're standing up for yourself and not shrinking. You know, if anything, if we can learn to do that in this life is uh to not put someone above or not put someone below
Mhm.
and to learn our yeses and our nos.
Mhm.
And what is a yes, what is a no, and if it's not a yes, it's a no. Right? So it's a dance with that awareness of what is our intuition, what is our body telling us, and it's really hard to know these things when you're not embodied. You're not in
Mhm.
your body. So I'm glad you got, with the partying in the 70s, recovered. Your summit point moved really far. You were outside of your body most of the time, and now you're coming back, and those chemical layers will be accessible to clear some of the toxins, some of the things that we do as a means to navigate this difficult world. And so you're just on a really powerful path of healing, and it's going to be times where it just feels really powerful and liberating, times where it's going to be thick and uncomfortable. But we just keep going. It's Tommy's motto, just keep going.
You know, and I'm sure I've repeated this because that's what you do. When I talk to you, when I first talked to Joel, this was like almost 3 years ago. I said, Joel goes, and I said, "Oh, Joel, I've done all kinds of work on myself. I've done all kinds of work on myself." Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I do hear this a lot. I've done so much, I've done all this shadow work, so why is my life all fucked up? I'm like, well, we're gonna get started here. We're gonna begin at the beginning, okay? And we can't skip ahead here. We can't tell ourselves what we're further along in this than we are. Because then
Mhm.
that's the worst thing, is to lie to yourself.
Mhm.
And then you're trying to keep that lie going, and you're trying to convince everyone around you so that you can convince yourself. Right? These are stories. And
Mhm.
if we stay inside of stories, then we won't ever really be present. And it's just, there's a lot of pain to feel.
Mhm.
So thank you for getting in your body, moving into into all the feelings that are there. And thank you for your courage, Susan. Thanks for coming to Montana. It's good to see you.
Thank you, Joel. Thank you, everybody.
All right. Hi, Jess. Welcome.
Hi, everybody. Hi. So I have so many things to say, and I also feel like I have nothing to say. So I'm going to just sit with that and see what wants to come. I love this magical pass.
Mm.
It's I was just thinking I might like this one the best because
I'm going outside. You want to go talk?
when I do passes, I notice that I get the visual of where I learned them initially.
Mm.
So this one keeps bringing me back to all of us together in the
Mm.
physical in that room. And that's
Mm.
really special for me. And Zanny, yeah, when you were speaking, you just like brought me right back. That was so, and right back to our hug. That was so beautiful to be able to go right back just by listening to you and feeling you. I was sharing a little bit with someone who's familiar with your work too, and in my human design little corner chat that I'm in. And it was interesting because they were so excited to hear about like how everything was. And I was sharing and I was like, wow, like I'm getting to share with someone who knows like what I'm doing. and and it was interesting because I was like, whoa, did I just share more than I wanted to? And I was like, no, like you got to share what you wanted to share with someone, with a group of people who weren't there but know the work. So, and my friend, she was like, well, what was your biggest takeaway? Or and
Mm.
it brought me back to that memory of the neutrality.
Mm.
So my whole life has been very like woo, woo, like really in the pendulum.
Mm.
And also I think it's part of the masking of really wanting to be so excited to like meet someone and feel like all this high up energy to engage and everything. And I noticed while I was there that I felt neutral. and
Mm.
my interactions felt neutral, and all of my hugs felt beautifully neutral.
Mm.
And I was like, wow, this tastes delicious. Like, this is what neutrality is.
Mhm.
And I've been, and you know, for a moment I forgot. And then something Zanny said just brought me back to that memory. And I have a reference point now for what neutral is. You know, when you're used to like soaring and riding the roller coaster and thinking that high means good only, like overly loving means good only. And then if I don't feel like that, then there's something wrong.
Mm.
Neutral used to feel like boring, I guess, or I just didn't understand what it was.
Mm.
But this, and I just thank you to everyone who's with us, who was there, who sent intent, because like you guys are all like doing it. Like I felt so good, and I've had this thing where I'm learning to manage, like navigate my energy and how I interact. And in the past, well, not in the past, like very recent, all the way up until this retreat, probably, I had felt like a challenge to be in groups, feeling a lot of things. And this time, I felt neutral and I could feel me. And,
Mm.
you know, like that says a lot for everyone there. Like everyone is taking care, I think, right? That says a lot that I was able to also just like take off my coat and not have to perform. I
Mhm.
didn't feel like I had to perform. I was a little nervous before going. Like, what am I going to do? Who am I going to be? How am I going to, who am I going to be to all of these brothers and sisters that I see on the screen? Who am I going to be when I see them in person? And that was like really scary. But it was, yeah, that was really scary. It was so precious. Yeah, 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 Zanny, precious. To really be able to feel myself and get the taste of that,
Mm.
know what neutral feels like, loving neutral love. I don't know
Mm.
what the other stuff is. I don't know what that is, but I don't really care. I don't want to, like, it's just, I'm so grateful to have a reference point. And the way it happened was so, you know, magical, of kind of last minute going. And
Mm.
yeah, what else? Thank you, everyone.
Mm.
Um, thank you for holding this, um, holding this where we're at, Joel. And yeah, the ride home, I ended up taking like the same route back, but it wasn't the same route at all.
Mhm.
So the couple days before the retreat, I was losing my mind. So I just was like, you know what, I'm gonna watch a movie. And I watched Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And you know, it's like an old time classic favorite. And on the way home with all these hills, I was looking, I was like, I'm driving through Toontown. Like, whoa, like this is Toontown. You know, when he the time where he goes in and you see everyone's so happy, the sun, the mountains, everyone was moving, and I'm like the only one on the road just soaring. And yeah, that was really lovely.
Right.
And when I got back, I was very, I don't, what would I call it? Altered, high, energized, manic. I don't know, like a couple days. And I don't want to call it manic because I felt like I wasn't like, "Wah." It was just like I had energy. I wanted to go out and do things.
Cool.
I didn't want to be in my apartment. Like I wanted to get out. I wanted to go out and see people. And I'm like, usually I would just want to be home and just like integrate after an experience. But what I realized is that part of the experience is actually integration. So when I step in the past, when I've stepped into like a medicine weekend or I go out and travel, that's a big medicine for me. I come back and I need like 3 days minimum, not talking to anyone, just in my own to really receive what I just received.
Yeah.
And something about this work allows for the integration simultaneously as it's happening. And the first half of the ride was just crying and really intense release. And then the second half of the ride, I had this experience with the tree that was just mind blowing. It was like I dropped some stuff off and picked up a lot. And there was a lot of integration. So when I got back, it felt like I was ready to interact. I went and saw a friend, communicate, like that's not what I went out, saw a friend, interacted, had social exchanges. And yeah, so that there's something to that
Mhm.
that I remember I wanted to say. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, I don't know, it might come back, but it's like it's an integration and a cleansing. And so yeah, it was just a very new experience. And I love that. I love being able to jump back in to this life. That's really important. And yeah, I think that might be all for the share. I have a couple questions.
Sure.
Um, so I'm almost finished with Being and Dreaming. I thought I'd finish it before today, but I'm in the last chapter. And they speak about Florinda being a good dreamer because of her nightmares.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious about that. So I've had nightmares my whole life and really intense dreams like that. Does that give me the potential of, what can you speak to that about the nightmares and the dreaming or?
Yeah, I had night terrors and fever experiences quite often. And Florinda was very, very much dealing with a very loose assemblage point, being raised in an alternative lifestyle by her parents, just naturally having the capacity to move her perception quite. So yeah, people that have childhood night terrors, nightmares, or just the ability to see energy, like things in the dark in the closet, being aware of energies around you. This is just because your assemblage point isn't, it's still in, in a more natural place where we're meant to see those things. We're meant to be dreaming consciously, and nightmares are a stage of conscious dreaming. When the fear goes away, a nightmare is no longer a nightmare. It's still the same details. You're just not afraid. And then therefore the energy, the vibration isn't fear-based anymore. So whatever's going on in the dream it has to shape shift. It can't be based out of trying to scare you. So our dreams are a reflection of where we're at. And
Mm.
and so we just want to get to know what's unresolved within our relationship with expectation, with fear, with moving into the unknown. But absolutely, yeah, well, if you have that background, then that gives you an advantage for sure. But it's kind of a tricky advantage to have because it's uncomfortable to be so susceptible to intense dreams.
Yeah, and you just remind me, I thought I wrote it down, but it was really interesting how I forgot what they said. I just read it about um about the things in the sorcerer's world. There's like the I don't know what they are. Oh, like the demonic beings, all the hellish creatures. And so she says, the impersonal energy. That's what it is. The impersonal energy. And she says that we, driven by our fears, make that impersonal energy into hellish creatures.
Yes.
So that just blew my mind, because so all of these fears in our dreams, like if it's all about the fear, it's all about the perception of the fear that we have to, and to all of these beings, and to the things in life, to the tyrants and everything like that,
Yep.
right?
Exactly.
Oh, on the way home, I decided to call the credit card company too.
Yeah.
I
There
was
you go.
like, let's try this. And I just like decided to try. And that was another thing. I was like, normally I would want to push all of that off for as long as possible.
Yeah.
And because I was in my emotions like really intensely, I was like, you know what? Let me take a step forward and cross something off this list that I have to get back to. And so I did that while I was riding through Toontown. So
Amazing.
that was, yeah, that was cool.
Wow.
Um, yeah. Is there anything else? There's so much more, but yeah, I really feel that pure affection that they talk about.
Yeah. Me too.
So this is really different. I just a couple days ago, as I was like, the word that came was preparing. I wasn't preparing for this, but I was thinking about this, but I got brought back to the day that I called you, our first intro call.
Yeah.
And I I was just watching myself since then, and since I came back there, a couple of things happened, but I'm finding things quicker.
Mm.
And I was just looking, and that was it was before it was in January, I guess. And I feel like I've seen myself come a long way in some aspect of myself since then. So
Absolutely.
yeah, I'm so
That's
happy
it. Yeah.
to be here. And I think Veronique said when you're ready, the teacher appears. And I'm always kind of like stomping around, like, why didn't I find this 20 years sooner? As I read the books.
Mhm.
But yeah, we know why.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know why, but we know why.
Totally.
All right. Well, so much love to everyone. I'm so grateful that I got to be in person and in the flesh and have that experience.
Mm.
So grateful. It definitely is obviously very different. It shifted a lot for me. And yeah, just to get to look in each other's eyes and feel that closeness. And I really appreciate everyone.
Amazing. Thank you, Jess. So happy for you to find Toontown and to get to drive through it. That's beautiful. Truly, like that's what it's all about. It's a beautiful world. And when you see it, it's just incredible. It's almost like animation. It's almost unreal to see it all and feel it. And when you're flying high off of a workshop, it can feel it just opens these little gifts, these little treasures come in to help you have a moment with eternity. And then we get more and more of those, and we just start accumulating that relationship with intensity. And then, yeah, you stop being afraid of the to-do list. You're just like, well, I have energy, and let's just do it. Let's go for it. Let's walk toward it rather than make it into this big scary monster. And so the things that you used to have to do in order to be okay change, and there's just so much more time on your hands. There's so much more you can get done. And we actually need tasks in order to not get lost. And so we learn to balance this stuff, because it could turn to manic energy, right? If you get too much of this going and you don't have a foundational grounded uh life, they could get a little bit much. So we're just striking that balance by being honest about what's going to work and being practical and strategic
Yeah.
for you.
I have one more question about dreaming awake.
Yeah.
I had an experience where I was gazing and I started to like, if you start to feel, I mean, I don't think I'm there yet, but if you start to feel the presence of others with you, and can see some, is that considered dreaming awake, or is there just a lot more to uncover for
Yeah, that's, you have to be in heightened awareness to be aware of things like that. And so, yeah, it's a form of dreaming awake, and you can go into much deeper versions of that where you can perceive where the world disappears and there's another world on the other side. And but yeah, any little, it requires a shift of the assemblage point in order to perceive things like of that nature. So for sure.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank
No.
you. Hey, Susan.
I forgot to tell you about my dream.
Cool.
Okay, so I had a session with Joel on Tuesday, and I go, because I don't, I mean, I know I dream, but I never remember them. So I kept saying, I have an intent to dream. Ugh, I'm so grateful for this dream. Okay, so my brother John passed away. It'll be 21 years in October, and him and I experienced the same kind of trauma. I was always trying to protect him. I was in this airport and it was nighttime, and I was running because I was going to be late for my plane, and all of a sudden I stopped and my brother appeared in front of me. It was so real, like he was really there. I mean, he was younger, of course, and just little tears were going down his face, and he gave me the biggest hug, and he goes, "I'm so proud of all the work that you're doing."
Well,
And then he goes, "Come on, come outside. I have to show you something." So we went outside in the night sky, and he looked up at the stars, and he goes, "That's where I live." And I turned around and he was gone. It was so real. It was one of the realest dreams I ever had. I woke up, I was awake for like 45 minutes.
oh my. Beautiful.
Thank you.
So real. These are very real things. Yeah. I'm glad you got to be with him.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in a couple of years, and I've been asking for him for a couple months. So I got my wish.
Hmm.
I thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you. Wow. Oh, all right. Keon and or Jess and then Keon. Or you still have your hand up? Yeah. Keon, welcome, brother.
Hey, welcome. Can you hear me and see me okay?
There.
Yeah, my internet's always spotty. Um, thank you
Yeah.
so much. And I got my little list. I want to say I seem to always mention something Janet says right out of the gates, but my petty tyrant is my car. I don't know. I love that line. I'm like, it's the best book title for some reason. Like, my petty tyrant is my car. That's great. Insert whatever at the end, I guess. And I'm gonna fly through my little list. It's cool. Like I always mention him, but Seven Bomar, y'all need to put him on blast. Understand? He puts this up in front of all his stuff. He says we connect. I mean, you're literally we touch and connect. That's what he says. And so when you did that, and he refers to your hands as light hammers, which is crazy because Joel started talking about hammers right after that and electricity, and that we're literally wielding light. I mean, what light matters, condensed light. I mean, even just making something. And he always goes into like every fingertip's a spiral. It's not just a fingertip, but they're like individual beings almost, or are. I mean, they're literally that unique. And spiral, if you break down the words, is spire and all. So it's almost like the spire, the fire of odd spiral. It's like the creation. So I was tripping out on that because when you did that, that's like literally, and you can feel it. You can literally feel the energy of the chakra points. So no matter where you are on this planet, whether you're in New Zealand with Jamie or Montana with Joel, so that was really cool. So and you just started talking about hammers right after that. Um, I heard a talk with you recently, Joel, where you mentioned Alamogordo, and my grandparents, if I'm not mistaken, met there because my
Oh, wow.
grandpa was in the U.S. Air Force back in World War II, flew for Pan Am for years after that. And we don't have to digress on that. I just was like, whoa, like you never hear that. And if I'm not mistaken, it was something with you and Rachel or your family in the beginning. And
Yeah.
it's a really trippy place. I've never been there, but I've always wanted to go to the White Sands area in New Mexico. I mean, there's a lot of stuff government-wise there, which is almost like, hey, they must know about energy points. There's always
Yeah.
a lot of history and centers there with all the Zuni and Hopi. But yeah, I just we could digress on that at another time. But um, here's another synchronicity. So I'm going back to like, I'm calling it reverse engineer the social engineers training. It literally says reset. I didn't even mean that for that to occur. I just came up with this. I'm starting to old things. What do they say not to do? We probably should do that. What do they say to do? We probably shouldn't. So I'm like, everyone got together in circles, they drummed, they sang, they sat on the ground, did all these things. They'll catch lizards and snakes all day. Because I'm watching all these videos with this guy, Malcolm Douglas. And the reason why I mentioned is I went to go pee before I came back, and I was like, I should talk about these videos. Nah, maybe not. I come back, and what's on Jessica's wall is a boomerang. So I see that as a sign, your little synchronicities. I have a boomerang right there. I have a woomera over here, if you know what that is. I won't show it, but and I'm watching all these videos, and all they do is just go around Australia. It's the most amazing videos ever. And I'm just like, it was like an old show. I think they were like in the 60s and 70s and 80s. And it was a show that someone's now put on YouTube and taken out the commercials. But Malcolm Douglas, and it's so cool to watch all this and just the Aborigines. And I love Australia. And which leads me to then mention I want to give a shout out to Jamie. I haven't seen you for a while, and you were in our first excursion with Joel all the way through all the days, and I have your cedar bracelet from Lebanon. I got to get it restrung, and that you gave me on my birthday, which was the first day of that trip, and or Joel's and new beginnings and just the power of what that is in 25 years. Whether you're in someone's life for just one moment on a call or whatever, 25 years, it's like everything has so much meaning, and just where you can take the good and the bad. And I know it's a lot of tears, it's a lot of happiness, a lot of sadness, but it's really just power and energy of that. And I'm really glad to have at least been a part of that, and seeing what she's had to offer, and like incorporating different things from both of you and my own culmination of like what I'm creating. And so I wanted to lead into that just for a minute. Well, one thing I want to mention, this is trippy just for light and like the aspect of what you talk about with consciousness and gazing. And
You broke up. Might have lost you, brother. Keon, can you hear me? I think we lost you. Gonna jump to Jamie for a minute. We'll come back to you. Hey, Jamie.
Yeah, hey Joel. I just sort of jump in when no one else is here. Stand up. Um,
Oh,
yeah, I
Keon.
just wanted to.
oh, am I back? Oh,
Okay. Yeah, you're back now.
oh,
We'll
okay. I'll wrap this up.
pause Jamie and go with Keon for a minute. Try
Sorry,
again.
what was?
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, one thing, and so when I wake up now, I'll wake up and I literally see this light pattern on my ceiling. I don't know what it is, but it's like right when I wake up, there'll be this like almost dancing pattern of lights. It's kind of a faint greenish yellow hue. Sometimes it's indigo, and it almost has this repetitive pattern of falling into itself. Like when you're on psychedelics, it's like it's going everywhere but nowhere at the same time. And it's freaking nuts. And this has never happened. And I'm totally awake. And I've done a lot of drugs. I've done a lot of things that I know to differentiate. Like, had some really cool sober experiences, mind altering. My mom raised me with a lot of spiritual stuff, controlling weather. Like, my brain's on another level, I feel already. So like when I see this, I'm like really tripping out. And it's like I come out of this dream and it's not there normally. And it just has this swirly dancing effect. And I've seen even images of eyes, like real human eyes, like a tiger one time, a bear, like for real, not just making this up or like some cute little story or some native shaman thing. You know what I mean? Like we want to like interpret something that's really not occurring, but we think it might be. It's like for real, for real. And it almost keeps going until I'm like, okay, cool. And I just close my eyes and go back to sleep. But it won't just happen normally. It's like when I come out of a dream, and it's very recent. And I'm like, that's insane. And so yeah, I just wanted to ask you about that, Joel. Then I had one last thing I just wanted to mention real quick before I lose the connection. So do you want to speak to that for a minute?
Yeah, man, just keep going with it. It's incredible.
Yeah.
I know you're not making it up. I have it too. Mine's not like that, but it's just, there's this, you can even go into it without coming out of a dream, where you start dreaming while awake in a dark room, and you'll start seeing stuff and it's just your assemblage point moving. So like this one woman woke up,
Mm.
went to the bathroom, and she was still super sleepy. And she looked on the counter and there's all these ants all over the counter. And she's like, what the fuck? And then she like woke up and she's like, oh no, there's not. And then she like moved her assemblage point back to sleepiness and the ants were there. So there's just little layers of the onion you can interact. For some people, it's really practical, like ants. And for some people, it's like, what the fuck? The ceiling's moving, you know? So yeah, it's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah,
Oh, interesting.
cool, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, go
that's
ahead with
amazing.
the rest. Got a little
Can you still
delay.
hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, am I still there?
Yep.
Okay, cool. If I'm spotty, I'll jump off. But the last thing I wanted to mention is I've started a group, and not to pull anything away from this, but
No,
it's going
please.
to be, so I've gone to a lot of events, went to Music and Sky, Confluence, your retreat, this other little thing in Northern Bay Area, and I've got a lot of contacts. It was like 50 something people, and like 38 responded where I'm creating a group. I just had one 2 weeks ago. Tim was there and John
Nice.
Mack from Ohio, my brother from another comedic mother. And it's
Yeah.
just going to be a shoot the shit, anyone that needs help with anything. It's not so much a paid group. It's literally just a free thing, just collaborating. I had all these contacts and I never reached out. I'm reaching out to people a year later, like, hey, do you even remember me? Let me send you a photo. And a lot of people responded, Janet wants to be on their boat. I had 12 people from our trip to yours in Missoula last year that want to be on it out of 16. Three didn't respond. One said they're busy, but it's literally just shooting the shit. You want to hang out with people, dick and fart jokes, fine. You want to help, I feel, collaborate business. I'm trying to, develop my business, do presentations. I'll do some kind of lecture for 10, 20, 30 minutes, which is now holding me accountable. I'm developing all my program, what I want to do with what I'm calling my map makers, where we rebuild our map, rebuild our ship to go back to our trauma islands and reclaim ourselves. My imagination station where we learn to learn again. So now all of a sudden I'm getting back into, I need to do my thing because I want to like show people this, but I want people to be a part of it to where they can talk about their business, if they have it or not, or how to get out of it, how to reach their potential, their fullest heights. It's not a group of like, let's work through problems. That would be like something paid totally different. This is like, hey, let's come together, laugh, collaborate, just talk, but also share. You want to present, do a Q&A for 20, 30 minutes on your breath work program or whatever you have, come on and do that. It's a free modality. Maybe you're scared to talk. Maybe this is the thing holding you back in life. This could be a platform to use for that. It's not going to be recorded or anything. It's totally free. I could go off on it a lot. I'll put my contacts in here, but again, I had 38 people that were on board from all these events. And if you made it to that list, you're fucking dope. You got some cool ass shit going on in your life to find Joel, to find Confluence, Music and Sky, this call. Fuck it, it's an event. And yeah, that's where I'm at because I hold myself back too much and I need to like not. And I need to bring people together. And people were like, oh my God, this sounds amazing. Yes, like I want to be a part of it. And there's people in Mexico, Georgia, multiple people on your calls that were at your event that want to be there, like I mentioned. And so, yeah, no obligation, nothing, no agenda wise, just putting that out there. And I also want to start doing more YouTube. So, Joel, I'm going to reach out to you on the side note for interviews and fun conversations. And that's what I got. I could go on forever as normal, but I love y'all. And if I don't know you, like I always say, and thank you all for being you. You're literally, that's the whole fucking point to life. And it's really hard to overcome that, but you can and you will. And we're here to help. So, thank you.
Thank you, brother. Love your shares, Keon.
Yeah.
So glad that we got to meet at Music and Sky and all that's coming for you. Proud of you for you know, being willing to shine and share your gifts with the world. It's powerful. And yeah, I look forward to more and more communities developing through all these connections being made. I'm going to be doing something
Yeah.
through an app soon. We'll be a monthly community and stuff. So it's just so cool how we can support each other and really generous of you to offer that. And yeah,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I'm all about it. It's totally free. Like I said, once or twice a month, it could turn into something more. Obviously, I wasn't gonna have my whole thing. If you want to work with me personally, I have a counseling background, this and that. Not to promote that now, but I'm just saying, like, we all have our gifts, our bone collecting to our, you name it. Share stories, metaphysical stories. That's how we grow and learn. That's really the point, Shoot the shit. Yeah. So thank you. I appreciate it, Joel, and you offering this
Of course.
platform. Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, cool. Thank you so much. All right, Jamie.
Yeah, thanks very much, Keon. You always bring a really light energy to the group, and I really love your humor and your shares. So thanks very much. Um, I just had I guess, a question, or maybe a little bit of I don't know, a request for support. I am struggling a little bit at the moment. I've moved into a time in my life where I actually finally have all the uh, support that I need. Um, but it's been so many years of just um, having to reach so deep and almost live two lives. And I'm back at a point where uh, most mornings I can go to bed at night time and I can feel great. Everything feels good. I've spent a day working through things, and then I wake up in the morning after really upsetting dreams, and I just have that feeling of dread again.
Mm.
And I'm finding it really hard to just keep digging into that place. And I don't know if it's a part of me that's not able to receive, but it's definitely a part of me that is not able to relax into something.
Mm.
And yeah, I felt a bit blocked in my heart lately,
Mm.
and it's just really confusing, Joel. I've learnt so much over the years, and I feel like I have a lot to share and provide for others, but I keep falling into this really, really dark place.
Mm.
Um, and I know that you have mentioned before that it's a lot of this is to do with me moving my assemblage point so far during a period of my life. But yeah, I just thought I would bring that forward.
Yeah, thank you, Jamie. I'm sorry it's so uncomfortable, and it is a real uh, challenge for some people. We just don't have much control over where our assemblage point moves to when we go to sleep. And when if we have a dysregulated nervous system and there's unresolved things in our field, childhood stuff potentially. But yeah, having moved your perception so powerfully in the past, you stepped into a very advanced way of being, and it makes it really, difficult to then try to live a normal life after having reached those deep, deep altered states. And you've done a great job. Not everyone comes back from how far you went. Not a lot of people come back from what I experienced. So we want to be careful going forward, and you can't change what you did before, and it's a gift. It also feels like a curse when it's not understood, and it's not something that can be understood intellectually. But by sharing today and getting to the emotion, that's helpful. So more of that, continuing to process and admit to it, talk about it. And, as you move into more, as you make peace with things over time, then your experience with dreams will be peaceful. But because you have unresolved things that need attention, it shows up through the subconscious, through the dream world. And it's going to be tricky. It's going to be hard. This is why sometimes heavy cannabis use is promoted at certain times in our life. And I know that's a tricky dance that you and I both dance with. And dreaming energy is really difficult to manage. It's harder for men in certain ways because of how we're at a disadvantage. Women are less. It's harder to pin a female you know, or like women have this capacity to get in and out of situations. It's different for guys, and we go through some real torturous stuff until we learn how to dream like women. Carlos became very capable, but it was very difficult to be able to do that. But there's a transformation a man can make where he can keep up with women in the dream side of things. It usually involves celibacy. It usually involves a massive shift of your entire field. I mean, it does. You have to energetically transform yourself. So we're in that process of not being bound by these challenges, and it's gonna be intense. But spirit gave this whole thing to you because you're strong enough to get through it.
Yeah, I've been through an interesting journey um, recently, just in regarding sexual energy, and um, I had kind of long periods of my life where I practiced tantra and naturally felt more comfortable retaining my energy because of the energy loss that I would feel
Mhm.
when I release that energy. And I'm just at a point now where I've felt a lot of the more, I guess, carnal desire um, that I had around sexuality is sort of dissipated.
Mhm.
And it's a really weird experience because I have all the sexual or spiritual energy inside me, and I can feel that it's opening up to another direction, but it's also a little bit strange because I'm starting to see or understand a different side of what that energy actually is.
Mhm.
I think for a while I was still feeling sexually frustrated holding that energy,
Sure.
and so I do feel that there's a some sort of positive shift happening in that area. And I've been looking into a little bit more of the white tantra material,
Mhm.
and I'm finding that really helpful because it talks a little bit about the psychological implications of retaining your energy,
Yeah.
and how essentially you can do that and you can gain energy and more vitality in your body, but you also have to face a lot of elements of your ego, and if
Yeah.
you don't face them, that ends up coming up as frustration. But I think for men, I would really recommend. There's actually a really good YouTube channel called Astral Doorway, and
Cool.
and they explain a lot of the challenges that people go through with kind of moving into that sphere. But I think for me, um, the energy is really ramping up my dream
Mhm.
experience. And there
Mhm.
was one experience that I shared with the group, um, where I actually met a cyclops being in my dream,
Mhm.
and for a very long time, that's probably um, the most magical experience that I've had in my dream. And I could feel in the interaction with him that he was inviting me into a particular layer. Um, but then when I woke up from that dream, I felt a real sadness of not being with that being anymore.
Mm.
And is there a way to, or are there ways to try to reconnect or get back to that being again? Because I feel like he's
Mm.
someone or something that's important for my healing and for my teaching.
Mm. Yeah, I mean that's when dreaming becomes accessible, you get silent and hold the feeling of that being and the picture and just stay with it until you reach that being. That's very advanced to be able to do. So you don't have to do it through dreams. You can do it through awake states. But yeah, then, you know, the more time, if that's something you really want, and the more time you do that, then the more likely you'll be visited again. Right. So it's setting that intention, and there's a detachment though. if you're clinging or in fear of it not happening, then it's more likely to not happen. It's like a trust.
Yeah, he just had a very magical, soft energy, and
Amazing.
there was a part of the dream. I said to him something like, I knew this place was different, but I didn't know it was that different.
Mm,
And
mm.
then his cyclops eye turned into two eyes, and then they like lit up. And then for that moment, I just had this memory. You know, it was like a feeling memory of, you know, what he represented.
Wow.
So anyway, but thank you, Joel. Thank you for all your support, and thank you for the group for being here as a witness to my journey, and I really appreciate it. And my heart goes out to all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, brother. Oh, good to hear from you, man. Thank you for sharing your tears with us.
My pleasure.
John, welcome, brother.
Thank you, Joel. Hey, everybody. I'm just feeling a lot of gratitude for the tears, especially right now. Um, I've been crying as others have been crying, and it feels so good. It feels so cleansing and exactly what I needed this afternoon. And I just want to echo, what Jamie was saying earlier about you, Joel. I just want to honor you for being so transparent and willing and having the courage and bravery to um, put it out there, what's going on in your personal life and how it's not perfect and it can hurt and be painful and all the things. And I just have a lot of respect for someone who is in a leadership position and willing to go there. That just means that translates for me into trust. I can trust this person.
Yeah.
So thank you for modeling that. Um, and yeah, and helping the rest of us perhaps do the same in our own lives. And it brings up, what I'm going through and my recent separation
Yeah.
of 9 years and two stepsons and um, having got clarity working with Bufo that I needed to let it go. And yet a month or so down the road from that ceremonial experience, I'm finding that there's been changes and things shifting in our dynamic, the dynamic with my partner. Um, and so I'm noticing these things and yet unsure. Like I don't know, I know the clarity I had of the need to protect myself and my own process and really doing the excavating and going within and working with my core wound and traumas.
Yeah.
And yeah, so just really trying, I guess, to just be okay with not knowing, uh, going slower, being patient with myself and time.
Mm.
And it's hard. It's, it doesn't change the fact that it's hard or painful,
Yeah.
or challenging. But I want to speak to also just how these breakups, breakdowns, the losses, usually I think is just exactly what I'm speaking for myself, what I have needed.
Yeah.
Like the pain is the medicine if I'm willing to go into it, really. And so at first, when my partner asked me to move out, I was pissed.
Yeah.
It was because of me that we found the fucking house.
Right.
that we moved into that her mother eventually bought,
Mhm.
and so, yeah, and I'm glad I spoke to my anger.
Yeah.
That's something that I typically haven't done in my life, and it was really important for me to do that
Yeah.
at that time, to really own it and speak it.
Mhm.
Um, but then, a month down the road from that, I realized, oh my God, that's exactly what needed to happen.
Yeah,
I had to move out in
totally.
order to get to a breakthrough in myself. It wasn't going to happen in that same environment with the same dynamics just going round and round and round.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm.
so yeah, it's like the shakeup. I mean, literally, just a few weeks ago, I went out of my apartment onto the grass. There's a lot that's not developed next to this house I'm living in. And I went out at night and I was standing there barefoot looking up at the sky. And uh, it occurred to me that I had been through a few days before a pretty traumatic experience, different from the separation thing. And that it just came out of nowhere, like instructions. You need to shake your body. You just need to shake and shake the trauma out.
Yeah.
And so that's what I did. And I felt so much better
Mm.
after just a few minutes of shaking
Yep.
and jumping up and down, pounding my feet into the earth and seeing it just fall into the earth to be absorbed. And it's just, it occurred to me, it's simple. The
Mm.
remedies can be very simple,
Yes.
I don't have to like figure it all out. Just listen, pay attention, be in the ever-present, eternal moment as much as possible. And
Mm.
um, yeah.
Oh,
So I haven't, I've kind of been in and out of this group a lot, this course, and I've missed quite a bit. Um, I have been watching the reruns, but I just want to speak to the fact that, thankful that this exists. Joel, thank you for stepping into
mm.
what's calling you in order to provide a platform like this for folks to come together and connect and share. It's definitely meant a lot to me, and I look forward to to more of it. So thank you all.
Thank you, brother. Powerful share, man. Happy for you to find such a simple, profound, life-changing thing that we can all do. And our bodies shaking, we're electrical. We really, our bodies know how to heal. Our ability to move that energy. It's just part of figuring out our outlets, figuring out what does it for us. And thank you for modeling that by sharing your personal journey with it. Feel for you, man. It's the unknown is intense, and you get told visions, you get shown things, but just because you got shown that doesn't mean it's permanent. It was just a catalyst, right? And then you get shown other things, and then it all just it's a real intense relationship with signs, omens, feelings, knowing. And we're just in that process of figuring out how to become more intuitive and more honest. And then, like you said, certain things had to happen. That had to happen. And there's more things that have to happen in order for more honesty to come in. And, I've been working with psilocybin, and the words that were coming out of my mouth were, they were mine, right? But I really benefited from the mushroom helping me get to those words. So sometimes even some medicine is what the doctor ordered, and the microdosing led up to the desire to macrodose again. And so just we don't have to do it alone. We want to find solutions that are practical and just go about it honestly. Thank you, brother.
Hey, Joel, can I say one more thing?
Please.
Um, just to piggyback on your share about this, I guess, newly discovered medicine, the mushroom.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm really seeing, I think that it's just in the times we're in that seem very dark and confusing, that there's also remedies showing up,
Yes.
just right out of the earth, right? To help us in these unprecedented times,
I
moving
agree.
from one era to another. It's huge. And so something I want to share that I've been working with is plasma.
Mm.
There's a plasma machine that I've acquired recently, and it's been amazing. It's you can go to tesla.club if you want to read more about it. tzla.club. I'll post it in here, but yeah, just as a way to feel connected to the field,
Mm.
this plasma generating that goes into your body. I've experienced it quite profoundly, and really glad I got it just as a tool to help along the way. So I just wanted to share that.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, John. Tim, welcome, brother.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Right. Um, yeah, John and Jamie, thanks for those shares. I can feel it's I don't know, when I hear other men sharing and getting teared up, I'm like, I'm right there with you and I feel it. And thanks for those shares. This is what makes us such a powerful group. And I've missed, I think I only made like 2 live ones this past time. I'm so off on my timing. I think I joined this one an hour late. But anyway, thank you for providing this platform for this community to come and share from people across multiple groups. Joel, it's been great. I think the last one that I was on was back in April, and Keon shared then. Then I fast forward, I go to Confluence. I just recognized his face and introduced myself.
Cool.
And so, like, for the people that I've met, everyone here just feels like your friends or your future friends. We're about to be friends. And so it's cool that you provide this platform where we can connect and see each other and so forth. And anyway, and yeah, and I joined Keon's group and his call, and that was fun because 3/4 of the people that introduced themselves said mentioned your name, Joel. So it's fun. I love when worlds collide, and it's like a mycelium network of people in all our different overlapping concentric circles, and it's just fun. And then, so I guess speaking of that, there's someone I've been getting into quite a bit recently. His name's Chuck Swindoll Jr. And I've been connecting with his material, I think mostly because I've been going through a lot of deconstruction of religious programming process. And so his work has helped me with that in a lot of ways. So, but then along the way, he's mentioning Carlos Castaneda and, facing death and how that can be a teacher. And I'm like, and I've had some email communications with him, and I mentioned your name and he hadn't heard of you. And anyway, I was just, it'd be nice to see you if you guys would connect possibly. And because you might have some, just like the concentric overlapping circles, I think there might be a lot of commonality and things to discuss. So maybe I'll do an email introduction between you two. But anyway, but yeah, just thank you for providing this platform. And Joel, I feel like I don't know. It's I've been through 2 like really difficult divorces, separations, and I don't know how you hold it together. It's got to be a difficult time, but like I don't know. For me, it's in the hindsight has always been like, holy shit, like kind of like what John was saying, like, yeah, I needed that, and it's I don't know. Anyway, I just wanted to share those few things with you and the group, and love to all you guys. Love all your shares. Thanks.
Thank you, Tim. Good to hear from you, brother. It's good to see you. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. And yeah, I'm glad you guys are running into each other out there in the world, and it's just a powerful thing. It's important. We're not here to be isolated. We're here to make connection and to support each other. It's just and just sending that out there to people that are out there feeling like that they're alone and that there's no one for them. you know, and that they don't fit in, like, you know, reach out, invite people in, you know, that need, sometimes they don't have the capacity to raise their hand and ask for help. So you might find someone in your life that you need to let go, knock on their door, or just let them know you don't have to be alone. Because I almost got really lost, you know, where I thought that that was the whole deal. There was no one I was too embarrassed to speak to what I was experiencing, what I was going through in my mind, in my confusion. So just, yeah, that's what I want for everyone, is to have people in their life they can work with, but also to be able to be alone and to go to the earth and to be with the sun, and find the peace of not needing people too. So we get that beautiful combination. Awesome. All right, Amy, welcome.
Hi.
Hey.
I just got real nervous.
Yeah.
Um, I want to say that I've been divorced twice, and then I lost my third husband to his passing, and I feel like absolutely all of those were for my own benefit. It's hard and sucky and uh, unbelievably difficult. I know that I, if I was stuck in any one of those, I'd just be complacent to this day, probably. So I wanted to just share about my journey coming home. It was a journey. I never did make it to Jackalope like I thought I was going to. It's every I don't know. It was a lesson, continued lesson in listening to my intuition, to listening to nature, to just following the leads that came up. And I ended up camping in this national forest at this free campsite for, I don't know, 3 or 4 nights. And it was really interesting and very deep experience. Um, I picked a site that had an obvious memorial marble bench that was a memorial for someone. And after I got my campsite set up, I mean, obviously there's not marble benches all throughout the national, national forest. I went over and cleaned it off and read it. And, I was like genuinely, just because of my experience losing my husband, genuinely interested in like, who was this person? Who were the people that loved this person and loved this place enough to put this here? And the last night I was there, this huge group of people showed up, and one of them was nice enough to. I was sitting at my table, my picnic table, eating, and one of them was like, knock, knock. And I was like, yeah, what's up? And they were actually the people that put that bench there. And they had come to spread someone else's ashes there.
Oh my God.
I know you can't make this up. Anyway, I was like, yes, please, I mean, just don't worry about me, do what you need to do, and but thanks for letting me know. And I don't know, it was like really impressed upon me to go speak to them and tell them basically what I just told you, that I really did read the whole bench and wanted to, know about them. And the man who had passed, his widow was there, and so I got to have a really sweet connection with her, and I gave her a hug. And it was just so emotionally deeper than it was on the surface. Once they finished doing their thing, and I got to take pictures of them, take it all together. Wow. And then they left, and I sat back down, and it just felt so deep. I don't know. I don't really know why. I'm really still not. It's almost like I was put there to kind of, I don't know, support them in some way. I
Yes,
don't.
for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, anyway, just some other crazy things happening on the way back. Part of why I came back when I did exactly was because I've just had so many more opportunities open up business wise for me, like making money.
Yay.
Yes, it's and I I have had so much energy. It's like bizarre. I've never had so much energy in my life. And I'm just like, I mean, am I okay? Like, it doesn't matter if I drink coffee or not. I still have all this energy. It doesn't have anything to do with that. Uh, so
Yeah.
it's and I haven't even done any more movements since the class. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I feel like it's very powerful work. I'm just so grateful to know you and to have been in class with everyone. And yeah,
Oh, wow.
no, I think that's about it.
Okay. Thank you, Amy. What a beautiful, magical experience to
Yeah,
share.
thank you.
So happy for how much your life has transformed since we met. Like you've just gone through a rapid, beautiful healing process and still so much more to come. So what a beautiful omen for you and what an indication of what your gift is, in all the ways you could share it. Yeah, that's so strong.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, Tracy, hi, welcome.
Hi.
Hey, good to see you.
Oh, you too. Good to be here. Good to be listening in on all your shares.
Yeah.
Ah, and I just love your share, Amy. It just feels so like mine. Is reminds me of how magical my path is, and how part of the reason it is because of paying attention to the callings, the little breadcrumbs and following them. And the more you do it, the more I've done it in my life, the more the better I get at doing it, the better I get at going, noticing when something is up in my field that I have to pay attention to. And, because I can think back in earlier times in my life where I had a lot more statements like, dang, I knew that was going to happen. I knew I should have turned left when I turned right. I knew I should have, moved my child out of the way when that thing was falling on him or something like that, and, so I don't know. Amy just brought that up for me, the idea of, you listened and went to this campground and, maybe you were a placeholder. So some other person who shouldn't be there would get the campground and make it more difficult to bring different kind of energy. So your beautiful energy was there to be holding that space and being there with them, and whatever that is was for you too. So I just wanted to speak to that, um and also to the tears. We so need the tears of men in our world so badly, so wonderfully. We need the tenderness and the willingness to be raw and open. And so I'm just, I really was feeling it a lot, with each one of you as the men, especially who were being raw and tender. And when Jamie was speaking the second time, I have this motherly instinct to want to jump in, like, oh, let me say what would be helpful, and let me try to help you fix this. I have this like just automatic thing that I do, and so I raised my hand,
Yeah.
and then I'm glad that there was some time and space. because I was able to lean back a little more and just realize, how different each of our paths are and how we come to our what we need in different ways. And so then I just thought, okay, well, the best thing that I could do was just, there's a couple recent things to me I just wanted to share, some stories that have, of mine that have been really powerful and helpful. And a couple that are, and one's just super simple. But I just heard somebody recently, within the last couple of months, talking about breath. And what stuck out for me was that when we have a fear response, or when we're feeling that intensity of emotion and fear and all that, we tend to bring our breath more in and hold it in. And then when we're able to release our breath, that's when the fear and the intensity can relax a bit. And so that in breath work, there's all different kinds of breath work, but that a really good practice is to focus less on the in-breath, to allow it to be there, take a nice in-breath, but really put your attention on the out-breath. And then instead of like, take a deep breath, it's like, take a long breath, just take your time, like the slowing down, you just slowly like bring in some breath, gentle, tender. But then when you release it, make that a longer release and really follow it to the very end, not till you feel desperate, like you're out of breath, but just really follow it and notice where you feel that tension of, I need a breath now, and then take a breath. But really, so the idea was that it's actually a practice that like performers do. That's when I think of maybe athletes, but this idea of like instead of the, breathe, like you got to breathe. Yeah. And people think when you got to breathe, you got to breathe in. Yeah. But you also need to slow down and let the breath release gently, longly, and notice it. So that was one thing that really came to mind as an offering of notice your out breath. And then the other thing is, I have been working with this woman. I've known her for years, and she's very powerful and beautiful, and have had many magical experiences with her. And last year I did an all-day one-on-one with her with mushroom medicine, and it was the most beautiful experience because I had some really traumatic things that happened years ago with a series of intense mushroom ceremony, and I won't go into that story, but it really was a healing thing. And then this year, I decided to do this series of microdosing, but within the container of her and intentional integration. And so we did one, and it was going to be a series of 4. So we did one, and then and it was very powerful. And it's just a 3-hour experience, and then some follow-up in between. And then each time we tried to schedule the second one, it just, something always came up. So like almost 2 months go by and we haven't done our second one. It was supposed to be within 2 to 3 weeks of each other. So finally, just last week, I called her up and I said, something's telling me that there's a reason for this. So let's explore a different option. And so we figured out a different option of just meeting, and we were meeting in person, of course, with the mushroom, but just meeting on Zoom for a couple hours each Saturday. I set up an intention of something that I want to do every day, and she's my accountability accountability partner. So each morning, I do Satkriya, which is a Kundalini breath exercise. And so I do that. I just send her a little emoji. I did it. You meet once a week. So we've already had 1 week of this. And it is such a beautiful recognition of the same thing I was talking about in the beginning, where, you know, I noticed something was going on and something different had to happen. And so, you know, within that, I realized that I am in a place in my life where I really need to be clear.
Mhm.
So clear. Move slow. Pay attention. And the medicine has been good for me at times, but right now I need to be fully in who I am without anything extra. And everybody's at a different place, but for me, that's what's really working. And every step along this way here recently, it's just one sign, one confirmation after another that yes, keep going. You're on the right track. And so, and I'll just end it with, I would love to share, and I'll find it and put it in the chat. But there's a woman, her name is Sue Morter, and she wrote a book. I think it's called the Energy Code, and just magnificent, magnificent. She was interviewed by this beautiful human being. So the whole interview was magical. It's over 2 hours. But I'm telling you, it is one of the most powerful interviews. And it was an assignment. I was given it as an assignment by this woman who's helping me right now. So from beginning to end, and it ends with this beautiful, she speaks to the connection that we need to have with Mother Earth, and ties that in with our breath and our breathing with Earth, and the instead of like being a transcendent master, bringing a descended master, you know, bringing that transcendence back into our body, because it's really the only way that we can actually like take what we get from these different states and bring it into our life so that we help ourselves, and ultimately so that we help others. So I'll put that in the chat, hopefully. And if not, then when you put the recording up, I'll put it in a message or something, but just I'll look for that. So thank you so much for allowing this time to share this. And I just want to say to all of you, namaste. The light in me sees the light in you. It's so good to be here with you all. Thank you, Joel, for providing this opportunity.
Well, good to see you, Tracy. Always such a privilege to hear from you. What a powerful share. Thank you. All right, Douglas, welcome.
I'm back. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I'm back.
by the way, that Sue Morter, I worked for her father in
Wow.
Rogers, Arkansas, when I first got out of school in 1993, when I went back to school, 43 to get my degree. Anyway, another story. Thank you for all your shares, everyone. It's so good to see everybody here. I mean, it's what a blessing, what a blessing. And the plasma machine that you mentioned, who was that? I'm so sorry. Was that John or
Him?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, the plasma. I've been hearing Jeff Berwick talk about that plasma device, the Tesla device, for about 2 years now. And they've had some, I'm just watching everything, but it's had some remarkable stories so far. Anyway, it's a side. My main question, Jill, goes back to the assemblage point, right? That's my favorite topic. What are what would you say are the main, I mean, I'm assuming recapitulation, and I'm assuming that to help move and the movements to move the assemblage points. Maybe what are other, I mean, microdosing maybe? I mean, what are other ways to move the assemblage point? How besides shock and trauma, maybe severe,
Yeah.
say.
Totally, man. It's fasting for long periods of time, sleep deprivation, both dangerous things, but powerful. So when you know how to work with that stuff, as Jamie can attest to, it'll change everything. But yeah, basically the assemblage point, more of a macro dose is what's going to actually get the assemblage point moving. The micro dose is more of like a loosening. So the macro doses are obviously the most effective, but eventually learning to be conscious while you're sleeping, that means that you're awake and dreaming at the same time, and therefore your assemblage point is moved, but you know, uh, you're being able to keep up with it. You'll be able to keep conscious. So, really, yeah, anything, I know a guy that stayed up for 5 days on meth and then he took a hit of acid and his assemblage point moved very far. Right. So all kinds of tricks out there, but you want to be careful which ones you use, right? He thought he was in a movie and he went up to say his lines, and his line was to pull out a gun and shoot his friend. Right. And so like we do get lost very easily if we, work with substances in a way that's not sober. So sobriety doesn't mean without substance. Sobriety means what Tracy's referring to is listening, so that you're not pushing past your listening and just trying to move the assemblage point. For Tracy, moving the assemblage point means slowing down, right? Because that's what she's being guided to do, and that's what's going to lead her home. But there was a point where she took some psilocybin, which led her to this position to be able to be this intuitive. And we all have these different formulas.
Yeah. I remember one last word. I remember my first teacher would always ask this question, which would just, and you've heard it before, it would just stun me, stop me in my tracks. Do you know who you are when you're sound asleep? And there's always, I'm always at it, so to speak.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, brother. Hey, Cindy, welcome.
Hi, everybody. I just wanted to say thank you for everybody's shares and thank Joel for all your help. I think I was an hour late, and if I was, I apologize.
Okay.
And this last few weeks have been very challenging, and it's not over yet. The universe has been working in mysterious, not so mysterious ways, I guess, when you look at it. Painful ways, let's put it that way. And um, yeah, and I have a paint party later on today, so I'm at least a little bit distracted with that and doing the stuff where I need to do for that. And my house has no privacy, so I want to thank the people. I mean, everybody who's supported me. Some of you, have been supporting me and more than others in this, and thank you so much for that. I appreciate everybody being here, and I think that's about it for today. Thank you.
So yeah, you're sending love, Cindy. I'm so sorry for what you're going through, but I'm glad you're facing it and not pretending it's just going to magically change without your boundaries that you're setting. So congratulations on being able to do that. Yeah.
Thanks.
Right. Okay. Jessica Noel.
Hi again. Cindy, that painting is so drawing me in. The pink and blue. Is a boat? Yes. Oh my gosh. If you feel so called to, maybe send a picture of it in the chat. I love it. Hi again. So I just had a little reflection on what I shared earlier, just about being all together and some of the things I was finding in myself and just, yeah. So what I wrote down, and it was very clear when I wrote it, but now I might stumble a little. So I wrote all the stories I've made up that I have to do this or that or over explain. And so this is like has been my theme. And that is what really like dissipated there too. So that's just this other like bringing back to the reference point. And I think this is more for me to say this out loud and hear myself say it, like all of this over explaining, thinking I have to do this or that. If I didn't feel any of that when I was there with all of you, then why should I ever have to feel any of that?
Mm. Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I really want to, like, without clinging, I want to like wrap that up in a capsule for myself to like put it in to remember that because um yeah, like when we're given a taste of something that we can really experience in a really healthy way, um yeah, it's bringing it into everything else.
Yeah, beautiful, simple.
Yeah, right? It's so simple. Okay, that was it.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Beautiful. All right, Jess, hi.
Hi, everybody. Really powerful shares, really beautiful, open hearts. Tracy, the energy that you brought and everything that you touched on, I just kept on feeling like lights go off, like, yes, me too. Slowing down, listening is really powerful. It's really beautiful to see so many men open up and support each other. And be witnessed. Yeah, the past 2 weeks have been really powerful. I've had so much energy as well, like Amy, you said, and sleeping a little bit less and grateful for the sleep, and just not all the tasks in my business, they're less heavy. Like they don't have to be so, doesn't have to take my energy anymore. And I feel like a different person since the retreat, and just like having insights and realizations of how powerful we really are in creating our life and creating a beautiful world. And yeah, I just want to share that, and really grateful for the space, Joel, that you hold. And um, I'm really looking forward to a potential Sedona retreat. So yeah, it'll be really fun. And yeah, that's it.
Oh, thank you, Jess. So cool. Yeah, it's really strong feelings today, and it's been really strong energy levels for me too since the retreat. And it feels sustainable. It doesn't feel like just like a festival high or something. It feels like we all leveled up a little bit. I don't usually use those words, but we are electrical beings, and we are like batteries, and we get to recharge our batteries, and we're finding ways to do that, and we have the courage to do that, because it is a little uncomfortable, like Susan said. We're all a little scared of our power, but we're getting more comfortable with that. And then the things we thought were draining us, it wasn't really the thing. It's the way we perceive the thing. So thank you for bringing attention to that. All right, much love, Susan.
Hi, I wanted to speak to the energy too. My energy has been, I've had a lot of energy, a lot of energy. But I wanted to ask you, because you said that the Sedona retreat was going to be in December, and then today you said April.
Well, I screwed up. December.
Okay, just check in because we'll be there. I'll be there.
Thank you. Thanks for telling me that. I'm thinking about what we're doing in April, and I don't know where that one's going to be. So it was in the back of my my mind, whatever you call that. Oh, yeah, I'm glad you'll be there. It's, Sedona is a very, very powerful place. There's some tricky energies there, and there's some really supportive energies, just like anywhere. But when there's a place of power, you really like have respect for the power. And so I'm impressed that people live there, because it's a lot of energy. So that's really cool that there's locals that will be there. So we've got quite a few people, and I think Bo might be visiting during that time because he was considering checking out Sedona. So so excited to be with all of you again, and it'll be here before we know it, so we'll be back together doing the movements, and then we'll be on to the next ones, and we get to kind of use this system as a means to plan our lives around energy growth by knowing that there's going to be opportunities to continue to meet, to support each other, to connect. Really excited for this next online course. It'll be a little bit more intense training, less sharing, and then we'll share at the end so that there's some time for talking. But the people that just want the training will just do it just in 90 minutes, and then we'll do a 30 minutes at the end. And we're also going to be doing a monthly group where we'll be doing kind of like what Leanne does. I'm in her group right now. It's a relationship group, and Jamie's in there with me, and Susan's in there. So we just, we want to make sure that everybody has a place in which they can go and express themselves, and that it's private. So it's not just on Facebook, kind of thing. And so we just, the next class I think will be called tracking, and we'll be do Sundays at noon and Tuesdays at 6. So if you guys can make it, that would be amazing. Be sliding scale again, and we'll jump back into it. It's always good to be in the wolf pack energy and just keep it going. Much love, you guys. Thank you so much for being part of this and for sharing yourselves, your hearts, your tears, your perspective. Take this energy out into the world and enjoy what you see and shine your light, and give yourself a hug a tree, take your shoes off, feel the grass, do some barefoot bouldering. I got to do that recently. Much love, everyone. We'll see you soon. Take super good care next time.
Thank you. Well,
Thank
bye
you, guys.
everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks,
Thank
Joe.
you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thanks, everyone. Thank
everybody.
you, Joe. Much love.
Much love. Mm. Chime, say goodbye. Much love.